some Cam Ward concern. Look, Cam Ward's interceptions, there have been a lot of them. There have been a lot of interception-worthy throws.
It's just preseason. Like, why are we all with? Cameron Ward, the #1 overall pick in the 2025 overall NFL draft. Somebody who the NFL media keeps saying is one of the most under-talked about people while not talking about it. Regardless, we're going to get into that later in this video. But today, the main topic of this video is that Cam Ward is struggling. And the thing he's apparently struggling with is picks. And I really am starting to realize that either NFL fans or maybe NFL media does not watch college football, because I don't think y'all watched Miami. I don't think y'all watched him throw across his body. I don't think y'all watched my lovely weekly breakdowns, which will be back when the season comes back, what's happening for the big college games and then some of the big NFL games. I don't want to stretch myself too thin. You weren't watching them, because something that I said for an entire season of Cam Ward is, man, if he isn't the most exciting man with the football in his hands, but he just will throw the ball just because he can. His arm can make 97% of every throw. He thinks he can make 100% of the throws. And somebody on TikTok described, I forgot who it was, he described it as athletic arrogance, right? And you know, it's almost an overbelief in himself and his arm talent that he's going to put himself in some peculiar situations. And apparently he's continued to do that at Titans camp. And it has some people a little bit alarmed about Cam Ward in the situation. So first things first, I do want to point out this little list here, man. Now, this is from The Dog, so maybe a little biased. But Shador Sanders did, in fact, grade out 82.1 PFF grade. Jackson Dart with an 80.7. That's crazy. Jalen Merrill 55.3. And then Cam Ward at a 54.2. I wouldn't really be that mad about it. Again, he didn't get many reps. I think he only had like 8 throws or whatnot. But where is all this fear coming from? Here is Tic Tac Titans. He shows up to some of these practices. He sees the things. He was at the joint practice. What did he have to say today, April 12th or August 12th, about Cam Ward?
The Titans got absolutely smoked by the Atlanta Falcons in their joint practice on Wednesday, and I have some Cam Ward concerns. Now, I'm not concerned about Cam Ward as much as I am concerned for Cam Ward. Look, Cam Ward's interceptions, there have been a lot of them. There have been a lot of interception-worthy throws that he's made. And as I said in a short video just a couple of weeks ago, Cam Ward is a gunslinger. That's going to be his mentality. You got to kind of deal with a little bit of that. When you have Cam Ward, the idea is the great plays, the extraordinary plays that he makes as a gunslinger will outweigh the bad. But it's probably going to be hard for him to outweigh the bad with this wide receiver group that outside Calvin Ridley is very, very pedestrian at best. And some of these rookie wide receivers may not come along as fast as all of us were hoping. You think about on the defensive side of the ball, the lack of pass rush, even more evident after these last couple of weeks. And think, a lot of you guys want to say, don't panic. We've had multiple weeks of training camp. We've had multiple joint practices with different teams. And at the end of the day, I'm concerned about this roster. Some of the concerns I had coming into camp about this team and where they're at are, kind of proven out on the field. And, of course, we have to mention the Brian Callahan factor. Jeffrey Simmons is after practice talking to Teron Davenport saying, we got to stop with these slow starts. It's just like last year. Jarvis Brownlee called the practice BS out there. The Titans got handled on offense and defense. There was some good in there, but overall, I'm sorry, how could you not be looking at this team and what they've done since the start of training camp and feel more like they're going to be closer to 5 wins than they are 7 wins? If that means that I'm panicking, I'm throwing in the towel for the season and all these things you guys like to say, then I guess that's what it means. But I guess I just feel much more confident in the Titans being more of a 4 or 5 win team right now than I do them going 6 or 7 wins or better.
I hate to be that guy. I just want to say it because, they say it every time we get excited for Shador. It's just preseason. Like, why are we all we? I mean, come on, man. We're throwing away the season in preseason. It's almost as if somebody who's been watching football for a long time and has seen a lot of training camps and a lot of high caliber football, it's almost like you can predictively see what you have in a team. So I'm not saying that to make fun of this guy. I am saying that we do have to take, everything with a grain of salt. Are they really going to only win 5 games? NFL's a little crazier than that, but does it look like a team that's only going to win 5 games? I can see that. And, I want to first, before we even get to the interceptions, because I kind of already talked about that, right? That is just that's the flavor of Cam Ward. That's just what he comes with, okay? I think the bigger conversation to be had about is everything else he talked about, right? The Titans picked number 1 for a reason, right? We got to remember that. So whenever you're thrown to the wolves like Cam Ward is going to be done, right? It's the same reason why when I make my Shador videos, I'm beating the drum, say, do not start Shador. I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb for rookie quarterbacks to start. I know that is like a hot take because we've seen over the last 2 decades a bunch of rookie quarterbacks just get run to death, and hopefully you can Andrew Luck it but not have your spleen explode. Hopefully, right? But how many opportunities is it really? How many opportunities is it a great idea to always start a rookie right out the gates? Y'all let me know. What, Joe Burrow? Even Patrick Mahomes waited. Tom Brady waited. Drew Brees waited. I think Peyton Manning, he started historically one of the worst rookie quarterback seasons of all time. So I think that Titans fans probably should have been expecting to be terrible, right? I don't think if I could one up you, when you're picking number 1 overall, your next upcoming season is probably not going to be great. So the idea of putting everything on a gunslinger quarterback when this archetype needs a great defense, you need to have a great defense to bail you out of some situations, because Cam Ward, I'm going to guarantee you, he's going to put you in some tough situations. There's going to be some times where the defense, hard third and whatever, you get a punt, and all of a sudden Cam Ward's throwing the pick in his own 30, own 20. And y'all got to get back out there and pray to God you can hold to a field goal so y'all can stay alive in this game, because I'm sure he can go for back-to-back 60-yard touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He has that explosion. He has that poise. He can, you know what I'm saying? He has that connection with Calvin Ridley. These boys are locked in. And you know what I'm saying? That thing's crazy. So I do want to point that out, that y'all probably should have been expecting this, that y'all were to be bad. But to double up on that, you got to think about, all right, what's the mindset of a regime, right? We talk a lot about the Browns. No, what's it called? No secret here. And I talk about how unprepared, or not unprepared, but just how silly they're making themselves, creating more problems for themselves. And then you can look at the Titans in a similar way. You're telling me you don't have your defense secured, right? I love Alec Ayamar. I keep saying his name wrong. I love him. Out of Stanford, he big body dude. He had a great game against Travis Hunter. All that stuff. Love the dude. He's apparently not looking great. Xavier Restrepo, as much as Cam Ward trusts him, dog, he's an undrafted dude that run a 4.88, and he's like 5'8". Like we got to be honest with ourselves. And Calvin Ridley at a crisp 6'1", 6'2", is your most dominant receiver. The man who had to miss a year for gambling, like you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not looking great. Now you got coaches speaking out, not coaches, rather players speaking out about practice and stuff like that. You add all of that onto, my main point. Whenever the Titans came to pick, they said, we're going to pick a generational talent at number 1. Okay? So, and this is not me. I love Cam Ward. It's dope. It's not me saying, oh, Cam Ward's bad. It's me saying, watch how they set up Cam Ward. Again, watch them set up another rookie quarterback with no wide receiver weapons from what we've seen besides one. An offensive line that we don't know what's going to look like. The offensive line that was clearly good enough to get y'all the first round pick, right? Or first overall pick, right? Okay. A defense that can't be trusted. But you want him as a gunslinger to go out there and expect him not to try to win games like he did in college, like he did in Miami, like those phenomenal Cal comebacks, phenomenal Georgia Tech games. Please, I say this every single time, go watch those Miami games. Start with the Cal game. I think Syracuse too. There's a bunch of great games, dog. I mean, golly, some phenomenal games. And a lot of it came down to Cam Ward and his big arm coming out there and putting it on the line. And running back Martinez, he's a dog. He's a problem. Do I think Cam Ward has the ability to do that? Yes. Do I think he's going to throw infinitely more picks than he threw trying that same thing in the NFL? Yes. And it would be fine if this was a team, this offense is just terrible, but we got a lockdown defense, so we're going to take a chance on a gunslinger S quarterback, right? You know what I'm saying? And we just going to let them feel it out. But if y'all thought Cam Ward was about to fix what y'all had going on, I got a bridge to sell you, my guy. I got to be honest with you. But before we get into anything else, because I want to get into this conversation that has been pretty persistent around Cam Ward, right? And this is like this idea that he's not being covered. I love this little graph. I feel like every single time we talk about this, so I did it in the middle of the video, right? The best story in the draft that no one's talking about is Cam Ward. I've made plenty of videos myself. I'm just saying. He was a zero-star prospect coming out of Columbia, Texas, where they ran the triple option. His only scholarship was to Incarnate Ward, FCS in San Antonio, transferred to Washington State, then transferred to Miami, went number 1 overall pick to the Titans, and is the American dream. Believe, work hard, focus, and pray. I don't know how you slid the pray thing in there, but I do think Cam Ward is a man of God, and here is Cam Ward leading men. So I think Cam Ward is going to be just fine. Titans, on the other hand, sorry about it. And remember, I wasn't reporting this as a Texans fan. These are the Titans people saying this. So that's not me, big guy. But I like to see this. This is a rookie quarterback clearly leading and being a leader of men. But let's talk about this conversation that I think is just the dumbest conversation. Actually, before we do that, I do want to show you something. How long is this? He made this 2-minute video. I want to just show. This is the only video I want to show. The only play I want to show, and it's his pick. Okay, so this is one of them too. Where his? I had a video where it's like all of his snaps. Oh, it's right here. Okay, cool. All right, so I guess we'll show 2 because I want to show the pick, and clearly we can't show too much of it because I gotta be right. Anybody watch Berleezy? Y'all know who Berleezy is? Y'all know who Berleezy is. All right, here it is. It's right here. So here was we at 113. My biggest issue of the day for Mr. Cam Ward. Please don't play this. Please stop. Please stop. We're going to go to 113. Okay, we're going to go to 113. All right. So you don't want to see this, right? Oh, wait. No, sorry. That's a phenomenal pass. Sorry, that's not the one. Sorry. He throws in that direction when he does throw it. Okay, that's not it. Is this it? This is it. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm about to show you this. I'm going to guarantee you Cam Ward is going to not only try this throw again in the NFL, he's probably going to hit it. He's probably going to be able to hit this throw. So he's trying to hit the whole shot in cover 2, right? He's expecting this corner to stab and stay low, right, and not sink all the way. The problem is this corner is looking in the soul of Cam Ward. So he's staring him down. So you can see him. He's already dropping. Instead of sitting here and kind of occupying this lower half like you would typically have in a cover 2 corner, when you have that over the top or maybe like a buzz or not a buzz, but him sitting in those flats, right, or hard flatting or just jamming and sitting there. Instead of doing that, he actually sinks to get a little bit more depth, right? And the corner sees that, he cheats it, and that should be that should be a pick. But I do want to show, you see that there, if that corner stays, okay, cool, it stopped. If that corner stays even right here, even at the 20, even if he just sits right here and just drifts a little bit, he's got that shot. He's got it perfectly right here. And even if he's right here, he's got the shot. So is this a bad decision? No, but this is a rookie quarterback, like we talk about in the Kenny Pickett interception, in the Tyler Shuck interception we talked about. I am no quarterback savant. I'm no, whatever. What I will tell you is if you're going to be a young quarterback and you're going to stare at the same receiver the entire time, it's probably going to be hard sledding for you. So didn't like that, but I guarantee you he's going to try to hit that whole shot again. And I guarantee you he's going to probably do it a little better. I guarantee you he's going to be like, oh, okay, I need to either look this corner off. I need to be a little more patient with it. Regardless, we're going to make that happen. And this is another one that apparently was not a good look for him. I guess he escaped a clean pocket. That is a pretty clean pocket. Rolls and kind of gets himself in a little more danger than he needs to. So that's something also to kind of monitor on, right? Just small things that rookies do, but rookies are going to be rookies. Rookies are going to be rookies, and they're going to be doing that type of thing. Now, this is absolutely the dumbest thing. So here are three separate. Oh, sorry, this isn't. He didn't actually say that. Only these two said it. But we've talked about this 1,000 times. So Rich Eisen and NFL on CBS. And actually, I'm not even gonna play these because I don't even need a plan. As you can see in the headline of both of these, and like we read at the top, even the little post, he's been maybe the most under talked about number one overall pick in years. I don't think we've had a more slept on number one pick ever in any sport. Wow. I'm sorry. Nobody's watching hockey. I'm sorry. What are we talking about most slept on? Just people aren't covering him. And I say all this to say, do you know how dumb it is? Like if you and me or watch, if we were just, watchers and we're saying it, if we said it, that's different. Okay. How are you as a media member, a part of the people that speaks to me, how are y'all going to say, well, people just don't want to talk about Cam Ward? Dog, the only time y'all talk about Cam Ward is about how much he don't get talked about enough. So what I do want to say is I'm going to shout out Kyle Brandt because we made a video just yesterday, and he shouted out undrafted free agent Kent State project, right? Shout out Kent State. Luke Floria. The weekend after Shador's phenomenal performance, he decides to highlight an undrafted free agent. So I don't want to hear any more about Cam Ward. Oh, he don't get talked about enough. It's not enough this, not enough that. Dog, how about talk about Cam Ward instead of complaining that people are talking about Cam Ward? Because you know what's going to happen. And I'm watching it as it happens. See, people are going to set up justifiable reasons to have unjust hate for things. That's all I'm going to say. But it's interesting that, when Travon Walker was the number one overall pick, people weren't mad at everybody else. You feel me? But it seems like a certain 5th round pick might be getting some extra hate just because the number one pick ain't getting covered the way that they want. I don't know, dog. But hey, man, I know you wouldn't think like that because you're my audience. You're phenomenal. So like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. If you want more Cam Ward videos, let me know down below. Hey, Titans fans, Oilers. Wait. I thought you thought I forgot about y'all, huh? You thought, yeah, feel me? You thought. You feel me? Guess where I bought this? In a Houston mall, son. I bought this in a Houston mall. Anyway, y'all be great. Y'all be phenomenal. If you watch this live, stay locked in. We got some Marcellus Wiley videos to watch. But other than that, y'all be great. Peace.